What's up, everybody? I'm Alan Seslowsky. Thanks for tuning back into Roster Watch. Many of our fantasy teams are going to need a weekly facelift, fresh talent from the waiver wire. As we start to deplete our fab budgets or our weekly waiver wire priority, we're going to need to find other ways to gain an edge, as we've talked about on this video for the past few weeks. Roster Watch has long been a proponent of trying to pick up players with a plausible path to be the hot free agent pickup the following week. Each week on this video, we're going to find sneaky $0 pickups or free agent pickups after your waiver wire has run. The first player we're going to talk about is Gus Edwards, the running back on the Baltimore Ravens, currently only 2% rostered. In the modern version of fantasy football that we play today, a workhorse running back are the most coveted players in all of fantasy football. True workhorse is extremely rare. Mostly, we are satisfied just to have the lead running back in a committee of two. When a team's running back rotation devolves into a committee of three, it defeats the purpose of why we pay up for running backs in our drafts and on our weekly waiver wire. The Baltimore Ravens are essentially a committee of four when you account for Lamar Jackson, who had more rushing attempts than J.K. Dobbins on Sunday. Gus Edwards actually led the team this past week in week 4 with 9 carries and averaged just over 4 yards a carry. By contrast, Mark Ingram, the perceived lead running back, had 8 attempts and averaged a very similar, about 4.3 yards per carry. The key to $0 bidding and gaining an edge in your fantasy league is to identify what player is one injury away from a significant increase in projectable volume. Should Mark Ingram or J.K. Dobbins go down, Edwards stands directly to profit. He can easily be had for free after your waiver wire runs or for a $0 bid. The next player I want to talk to you about is Duke Johnson, the running back on the Houston Texans. He's currently only 18% rostered. Duke Johnson was a popular 0 RB target this past summer for players who waited on running back in their drafts. Well, the Texans did pay significant price for Duke Johnson last year, giving up a 2020 third-round pick to acquire Duke Johnson from the Browns. Fantasy owners were left scratching their heads last year as Duke Johnson received about 83 carries and only 62 targets. That didn't stop any of us from seeing the upside of Duke Johnson, given his 10th round ADP this year. After Duke was injured in week 1 and dropped in many leagues, and then his first game back from injury, he didn't produce any attention-getting results. Duke Johnson is likely available on your waiver wire and may not even be bid on by most of your league going after some of the high-price free agents this week. With Bill O'Brien being fired this week, all options are on the table, and we don't know how the Houston backfield is going to be divvied up. It is very plausible that Duke Johnson gains a significant share, if not the lead share, in this offense. We highly recommend, if you have space on your roster, to pick up Duke Johnson in case he ends up being the lead running back and could end up being the hot free agent. He makes for an ideal $0 bid. The last player I want to talk to you about is the rookie wide receiver Denzel Mims on the New York Jets, currently only 3% rostered. It's cheap fantasy football advice to say stash this guy, stash that guy. Our rosters are limited, and there's certainly at least 10 guys right now on the waiver wire we'd love to stash. The last roster spot or two has a lot of value on your team. It should be used for high upside lottery tickets. The last spot on your bench should not be used for what a player's likely outcome is, rather what their 80th percentile outcome is. During the pre-draft process, rookie wide receiver Denzel Mims skyrocketed up draft boards with an eye-popping 40 time and a standout Senior Bowl performance. Roster Watch's own Trashman was particularly early to identify Mims as a player that was off the mainstream radar. Mims was subsequently drafted in the 2nd round by the Jets and then injured before the season even started. Mims is set to make his debut soon, and the Jets are starved for pass catchers. On Sunday, quarterback Sam Darnold suffered a shoulder injury and may miss time, but veteran quarterback Joe Flacco can still likely run an offense at the bare minimum. Mims is only 3% owned, as we noticed before, and probably available in your league. The odds are against him popping quickly, but if you have a spot, he is the perfect upside play and an ideal $0 bid that you could easily cut the next week. Okay, Roster Watch Nation, that's it for today. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we go live, and leave us a comment in the video. We will comment back. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.